When The Bad Guys 2 swooped into theaters on August 1st, 2025, it didn't just stroll in, it slid into the screen with style, bringing back our slick gang of anthropomorphic crooks turned do-gooders, Mr. Wolf, Mr. Snake, Mr. Shark, Mr. Piranha, and Miss Tarantula. Directed once again by Pierre Perifel, with JP Sands riding shotgun. Alongside Sony Pictures Imageworks Animation, this sequel strutted in, promising globetrotting heists, cheeky humor, and a whole lot of heart.
Showtime.
From the jump, it picks up right where the 2022 original left us. The crew's trying to live clean, but let's be real, ain't nobody lining up to hire ex-bank robbers. Then the rival squad rolls in, the Bad Girls, and man, they don't play. Led by the sharp as ice snow leopard kitty cat with wild boar engineer Pigtail and the scheming raven Susan at her side, they pull the guys into one last high-stakes caper. Next thing you know, we're bouncing through exotic locales, blasting off into space, and chasing down some shiny metal called the MacGuffinite. Yeah, the MacGuffinite. The name is on the nose, and the flick knows it by kind of winking at you, but somehow it works. Let's talk art though. The animation, still smoking, hand-drawn, kind of these kinetic swings, bold lines. It's like watching a comic book strut to the beat of its own funky soundtrack. We're now living in this post-Spider-Verse and Puss in Boots: The Last Wish world, and thank the animation gods for it, because studios are finally letting these movies kind of groove with personality. The Bad Guys 2 charges forward with its bouncy, cartoony style. The characters squash and stretch and do all types of crazy expressions all across the screen like they're dancing through every frame. Character-wise though, the OGs still shine. My top picks are going to be Wolf, Diane, and the Chief, who is now the Commissioner, and yeah, you know, the cheeky little return of Professor Marmalade. Wolf and Diane especially have the best chemistry. They've got this chemistry that's way more fun than anything Disney's trying to cook up with Nick and Judy in Zootopia, which is the only comparison I can think of at the moment. Diane, she's not just your good girl foil, she's not a goody two-shoes, she's really got grit, and that's what I like about her. She's got a dark history, and her secrets kind of give this film some kick. Wolf, on the other hand, he really oozes that Lupin the Third energy, smooth confidence, sometimes winging it, but always making it look good. With that being said, yeah, some of the gang does get sidelined once again. You know, Shark, Piranha, Tarantula, like they got their gags, but spotlight mostly falls on Wolf, a little bit of Snake, and Diane. Still though, the crew's dynamic does stay tight. There's a killer moment early on. Slight spoilers, the cops are hot on their trail, there's chaos everywhere, but they kind of do something really silly in order to keep chasing them, and the bad guys just kind of bust out laughing together. And it's only for a few seconds, but it really does do a lot to show you that they're a family, and that's kind of the glue holding all this madness together. It's really important to show scenes like that in your animated films, just scenes of the crew hanging out, laughing together, and enjoying each other's company. I do gotta shout out Susan though, voiced by Natasha Lyonne, and kind of that smoky, fast-talking Falco Lombardi vibe. Kind of smooth, dangerous, dripping with charisma, kind of New York / Italian coded, and she pops every time she's on screen. And honestly, Falco Lombardi is one of my favorite anthropomorphic characters, so it kind of makes sense why I really like Susan. And I do like that they leave the door wide open for her and Pigtail to crash the sequel, if there is a sequel, later down the line. They can definitely return. And here where we're getting into some spoilers, baby. If you haven't seen the end of the film, skip this part. By the end of the film, the script kind of flips. You know, Diane loses her high society crown, the crew's all presumed dead, and the only way forward is kind of sliding back into the shadows. Only now they're officially sanctioned secret agents. You know, they're still pulling jobs, but just with that criminal flair. It's kind of giving Suicide Squad caper comedy vibes. Is it a cool twist? Yeah, absolutely, yo. It's kind of fire, but it does kind of sting a little bit seeing them trade that scrappy underdog groove for something more polished and going alongside the law. Part of the fun of the bad guys is kind of watching them bend the rules, not follow them. And here's hoping part 3 kind of keeps that edge alive instead of drifting into spy thriller territory. Like, we don't really just want to watch Men in Black. But hey, credit where credit's due. DreamWorks kind of knocked this one out of the park. Sequels lately have usually kind of sucked, but The Bad Guys 2 struts in fresh, funky, and yeah, pretty flat out good. Like it's got laughs. Yeah, there are a couple fart jokes in there. You know, I think they're a little better placed here than they have been previously, but they are in there. And the heart's good, and the character chemistry, it's just all sick. In the end, though, The Bad Guys 2 reminds us that redemption ain't just about being perfect. It's about owning your flaws, you know, finding your people, choosing to do good, even if you've meddled with the dark side. You know, sometimes heroes do look messy, like chaotic, criminal. Everybody loves a good anti-hero, and that's kind of what makes them real. So if you haven't seen this flick yet, do not snooze on this one. If you want a summer caper that's stylish, witty, just fun to watch, packed with great energy, you know, this one's got you covered. The Bad Guys 2 proves once again that being good is easy. Being good at being bad is where the real fun's at. This has been Ninja New Jazz signing off for Light Table Disco. If you like this content, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you back for the next one.